Morning, folks. Alex. We'll give it another couple minutes.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
We have a few more. I see Kevin and Ricardo. So let's see if we have any other TOC members join. It'll probably be a quick meeting today, but seeing who's online, it'll be good for our second discussion around some of the end user radar stuff. So let me see if I can share my screen. Otherwise, I might ask you.
Oh, I can make you co-host. One sec. Also, uh I went to the optometrist yesterday and my eyes are still dilated. So like if you see me just like squinting at the screen, that's because I can't see much of anything right now, even with it at like 175%.
It's not fun. I'm always surprised it takes that long for it to go away.
I have like not it's not an allergy, but it is super effective on me. Because like even they do use like the lightest stuff that's meant to dilate it for just a short period of time, and that's still for me is like 24 hours.
Still, I'm trying to figure out, make sure that I don't want to share the entire screen.
You should be able to share, a tab or something like that, or sorry, if you're doing it in Chrome.
All
I can
right.
also share
Am I
if you prefer.
sharing the right one?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
You'll just want to pop over to the LF antitrust thing quick.
Okay. Okay, are we recording?
Yep, it auto records.
Perfect. Just making sure. Okay, thank you again. Reminder, the LF antitrust policy notice. We do have to make sure that we're abiding by all laws, and we need to show this every time. Okay. We adhere to our meeting agendas and we're not participating in any activities that are prohibited under any laws, which we do not. Okay, popping back. We're going to do a quick review on open votes. For any TOC members that haven't voted yet, DRASI is the one vote that is open. So please go take a look at DRASI for Sandbox. And we discussed this in the last Sandbox meeting. So a couple on this call, so Ricardo and myself. reminder. Celine, you already voted. Thank you. I am going back. It's just taking its time. Okay. Want to quickly go through the projects in the moving levels backlog and do a quick update. Starting over, Lynn, do you want to give a quick update on where In Toto is in the public comment?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from the public comment. I guess hopefully that's a good sign. I think we still have one more week to go before I can move to the next step. I do have a to-do for Intuitu. I need to update the moving level process to see if there's anything I need to clarify. Yeah, I'll try to work on that this week.
Thank you, Lynn. And community members, Lynn worked very hard on this, and please go put in your comments and before it's up for TOC vote. Thank you, Lynn. A quick update on Dragonfly. It's still in the joint security assessment. It's taken a while, so I will comment on that one later today after review with the tag security. We have 3 that are in due diligence. Emily is not here. Ricardo, would you like to give an update on Metal Cube?
Yeah, so I've done 4 adopter interviews. There's one missing. I'm reaching out to that adopter again, and due diligence is quite well advanced. So I think this will be done in a week or 2.
Nice, thank you. Quick update on Crossplane. Now that both Dems and I are back, we're doing dual on the interviews again. So those are going out this week for the Crossplane end user. And that's still being worked on. I don't have a timeline right now for when that'll be complete. Knative is ready for assignment. Are there any TOC members online that are available to take Knative on? And if not, that's okay. We can discuss async as well. Okay.
I'll say Knative, they asked early about it, and I believe they actually completed the GTR or were working on it. So that one might actually be um, pretty easy to review.
Okay. And I see Katie and Dave, you're on as well. Okay, so if anybody is available, please feel free to pick that one up. Yeah, like you said, it looks like they've done a lot of work on it, so it should be. Okay, really quickly.
I'm happy to pick something up with someone, but I think I have like days left in my term, so I don't want to pick something up alone.
March 4th. So you got about a month and some change.
All right, so then I guess weeks. I thought it was February. So yeah, I mean, I guess that still stands though. I doubt that one of these will completely close within whatever that is, 5-ish weeks. But I'm not assigned to one right now, so I think in the interest of not having a month of me doing completely nothing, I am more than happy to pick something up, but I think I should pick it up with someone else whose term will go past March 4th.
Thank you for the offer, Dave. Katie or anybody else, if you want to sync up with him. Okay, thanks, Dave.
I think if Metal 3 really goes well, I'm happy to back Dave and then take over later. I think the timeline should be okay.
Thank you for the offer, Ricardo. So you said maybe we'll check in next week and see where you're at with Metal Cube. Nice.
One quick comment. Just to answer Dave's question, I dropped it in chat as well. The timeline for the TOC elections changed because the new GB has to be seated first for them to be able to vote on TOC candidates. That is why things got shifted about a month out.
That makes sense because yeah, I remember on the GitHub page it says that like my term ends on February 1st, but we haven't. I don't think we've even had the election yet. So I was like assuming that you guys were on top of it, but something wasn't adding up. That makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah, it's should kick off next month or next week.
So in that case, I'll take the I can actually take the. I guess we have time. Then I'll take the. I can jump in with the Knative thing with Dave.
Duffy, I believe you're also up for election.
That's true, but don't we have? Do we have enough time to get through due diligence in the time or no?
Oh yeah, it'd just be the adopter interviews and things like that. So it'd be a month and some change.
So I think we can make it. Yeah.
Okay.
You want to assign the two of us?
Thank you both. Okay. And then right now, we can either go through and I know we wanted to get to the end user radar too. Go through and assign people for triaging.
The sandbox?
Triaging the upcoming incubation and graduation. They can also do that async and assign members to do that. Something that we did in the past. Okay.
I have a question, Karina, for the ones that replied, like some of the open ones like Prima, Litmus Chaos, we were asking for the submission of the list of adopters to make them ready. The ones that submitted, should we just move them? So I think this one has not submitted yet, but the ones that did, should we just mark them as ready already?
As long as the rest of the triage looks okay, because you went through and you did the triage, if they have them there and you don't see anything else, then yes, go ahead and move that too.
Okay, I think Lima is ready. So, but I will check the ones that it was assigned. Thanks.
Mhm. Let's go through this really fast so Kevin, could you take another look at the open FGA to see if that one's ready to move to the next column?
Sure. Yeah, I can double check their status. Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see where. I'll go and check on OpenTelemetry again. And Meshery. And I'll check on Meshery again. So after this, we have 4 that might be ready to move to the next column. And then let's look at K3S. It looks like there isn't.
I think they're using the old format. There isn't a new issue or.
Oh, it looks like Lynn, have you had a chance to look at this for triage?
Okay, sorry, not yet. Apparently it was assigned to the wrong name, so I wasn't tagged properly. Can you correct that actually?
Oh no.
Whoops.
Yeah,
Here,
but I've been busy with the interview, so really hasn't had chance, but I will do this one next.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And then let's see, we have Dems is not here today, so we will ping Dems offline to see where he's at in the triage. Fluid. Kevin, do you have an update on Fluid for triage, or is it ready to be moved?
You mean Fluid? I not yet double check, but I think they're They're still I just took a look at the adopters, so they not yet provided the adopters information, and also they left a lot of the checklist empty. So I think they are not yet ready.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. This looks like a, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, if they're legit not ready, then I would probably just close it out and tell them to open it back up when they're actually ready.
Um,
I'm not
I
sure
agree.
that's what we said last time, though. I think we asked this question last time, and we said they would keep the.
Get like
I
a
can't
month or
remember. Okay, maybe we check again what we decided last time. I know this was a question the
Yeah.
last time we did this.
Okay. We will follow up on that. Just a quick, I went and looked at the responses for the adopters. And it looks like Lima needs one more. Cube Armor's already picked up. Knative is assigned. Kserve is lower in the cube, but they have already submitted theirs. And Lima has submitted 4 out of 5. So FYI, so the others have not submitted theirs yet. Okay. Okay, and we'll just assign this last one, Kate GB. Would somebody like to triage that one?
I can
Okay,
do it. I can do it.
Ricardo? Okay,
Yep.
thank you. That should get us through. And then external secrets operator. Would somebody like to triage this one? I'll go ahead and take it then.
Okay.
Okay, we've got 2 more. Cube Warden.
You can always assign to the people that aren't here.
Are the people who aren't speaking up. Dave, it would help if you'd like to help triage this one.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. And then 1 more, confidential containers. Awesome. Thank you, Duffy. Thank you, everyone. Okay, moving back to our agenda. Okay. Thank you for the community members that are sitting through our triaging really fast. Since we don't have, here, let me move back really fast too. I wonder, Bob, if we, with our community members that are here, notably some of our members from Tag App Delivery, I wonder if we should move to the end user radar and talk about that really fast.
Sure.
Okay, do you want to, I'm going to hand it over to you since you're working
Okay.
on it.
Let me pull open the spreadsheet. So for the end user radar this time around, the two areas of focus are going to be um, platform engineering and observability. And because platform engineering covers a significant amount or a significant amount of the space, depending on who you ask, it tends to be either things that like focus on sort of the DevX side where or dashboards that makes self-service easier, like Backstage, or it's everything under the sun that is involved in basically spinning up a platform. So for this, we would like to limit it to just sort of the um, you know developer experience and API sort of management side of things, because like a lot of the other projects could honestly better fit into like CI/CD or other like infrastructure management type things. Um, I will drop a link to the spreadsheet in chat and share it as well. So this is um, the the projects listed there on the first tab are the ones that were just kind of a look from me and Karina, sort of going over some, the projects that should probably be included. And I wanted to see if there's things that are missing that people see on there. This can also be like an async item, ideally just sometime relatively soon, so we can kick off the survey.
I'd probably put Fluent over there in that section.
Fluent in
It itself is not an observability tool. It's just a way of getting data to an observability tool.
oh yeah, I kind of like I grouped Fluent D and Fluent Bit sort of together.
And neither of them are an observability tool.
I don't, because they're there for like shipping logs and things like that.
Exactly. So
Filtering
there's no.
logs.
So in essence, they don't observe, right? Like I would put them in the DevX API stuff because they're like their job is plumbing, right? Like
They're also currently listed in the landscape as observability.
well, that's a problem.
Well,
That's odd.
They've yeah.
yeah. Is that because everything kind of just like falls under observability? There's no like sub.
Well, for like
Maybe.
observability in general, we tend to like, the idea is the like it's both the sort of tooling and telemetry and the tooling that is involved in getting those things. Like, so logging and shipping those logs is a legitimate like observability thing in this case.
Okay. I guess I had that wrong.
Matt,
They also do metrics now, which is cool.
which one was that, Duffy?
The Fluent.
Oh, I was saying Fluent now also does metrics.
Oh.
It'll forward metrics and all that stuff to a
Nice.
collector.
Matt?
I was going to say both Fluent and the more recent Fluent Bit are both pivotal pieces of observability stacks. They collect logs. In the case of Fluent Bit, they transform logs and they route them with more recent deep integrations with OpenTelemetry. I would absolutely say that it's part of the observability domain.
I guess it makes sense. I just hadn't thought about like the tooling around observability being lumped into observability because you wouldn't use Fluent to inspect anything. Right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't learn from Fluent that there's a problem. You would learn from Fluent.
You could say the same about OpenTelemetry itself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but it's kind of like these are all parts of making something observable. So observability.
And typically the teams that run them in operation are responsible for not only the presentation layer for observable metrics, but and analysis, but how it's collected is both a major cost driver, so it's under that purview generally, as well as a core part of infrastructure. So it does straddle, to be fair, but would definitely say it's observability.
We could
I'm biased.
we could I don't there's nothing on like the DevX and API management side at least that I can think of as missing. But we could post this in the various tag app delivery channels and get people to just look over it.
Cool. Yeah, if just get like a quick glance and see if there's things that are missing, that would be great. Because essentially this will be the same type of survey as the previous one, where it's like AIML and multi-cluster. So it'll be asking are you using this? What level are you using this? Like your I forget all the questions, but same sort of thing.
But we don't want any for instance, we don't want the GitOps tools because that's not DevX. That is like the delivery method or operational model. We want something that's closer to the developers. Or
Yeah, for this, like ideally, like we'll probably do CI/CD or something like that
yeah,
later as its
okay,
own thing. So for this, just so we don't overload it with like 50 projects, um, just the things that are focusing on essentially DevX and API management.
right, makes sense.
Mauricio, since you're here, and this touches on
Yep.
a lot of the projects that your working group is involved in, do you see anything that may be missing or you think shouldn't belong in this category?
No, I think that's kind of like okay. I think that like Bob clarified it well. Like when we are talking about APIs, these are the projects that I've seen being mentioned. So we have a different classification in the working group that we are working on, which are like basically tools that have developers as a persona that they tackle. But that's not exactly the same as this list, and it's not being filtered in the same way. So yeah, is there any way to provide feedback here, like before it's too late?
Oh yeah,
Because I
like
would like to discuss this. Yeah.
yeah, like if you can drop comments in the doc or DM me directly. It's
Okay.
like I gave I'm giving the group that's doing the survey this sort of like as a preliminary thing to stub out the questions. And I told them that like we'll probably be adjusting, some of the projects before or the list of projects before it goes out. So
I think that that's also important, like understanding which questions are you asking about these projects, because if I see the questions, then I will be able to say, well, maybe we need to also mention this other project that it's related to those questions.
yeah, I can get you one sec. AIML
That would be great.
CNCF radar.
If we Mauricio, if we put this in the app dev channel and also platforms working group and maybe just like the general tag app delivery, then we probably
Yeah,
hit everyone who could have an opinion if something needs to be added.
I think that that's okay, but we will need to give like some background on what do we need in there, because
Yeah,
again, like you can create a list of 70 projects for any of these
yeah,
categories, and
yeah.
then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, I dropped a link to the previous survey from last year, and that
Okay,
covers sort
perfect.
of the questions and analysis method.
Perfect.
Bob, probably should give a timeline or actually just when do you need feedback by?
The sooner the better. Like, let me pull up the
Is this
act.
by Friday or
Yep.
early?
Let me pull up the actual timeline. Sorry, because essentially they're going to stub out a sample survey that we review. Yeah, they would like to have the questionnaire design finalized by the 31st. So ideally, us providing all the projects end of this week would be great. Um, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I can, me and Mauricio can talk a little bit about this, and we'll just post something that kind of clarifies what we're looking for. and we'll get that out in the channels probably today or something like that. And
Okay. Yeah.
we'll see
I'm
what happens.
happy to follow up out of band on this too.
Cool.
Awesome. Great. And thank you for the community feedback and engagement here. And obviously, Matt, if you're still here, if you'd like to share it with the observability tag, the members.
Yeah, we have our
Observability
meeting just
projects.
after. So
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
For context, that I literally copied on the CNCF landscape page just all the things that are in the observability category. That's what that list is. So if things are out of date on there, that's good to know that we should go there and update it too.
Thank you. All right, now jumping back. Let's do a little bit more triage if anybody is in the triage mood. We do have 8 new sandbox projects. And I wonder if you can drive this one, Bob.
Okay. Yep. Give me one moment to pull it up.
We're discussing async, whether to have another sandbox review prior to March. It would require, again, like we did last time, assigning sandbox projects to TOC members to triage.
Which honestly worked really, really well.
It did. And would anybody like to jump in and give feedback or have any thoughts on it, improvements?
No, I think it's great. I think it really improved everybody's efficiency and focus.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thanks to everybody who was involved. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Honestly, I think when people are just assigned like 1 to 4 of the things versus just seeing the big list and just focusing on those things, it's just easier to get things done.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, so last time what we did is actually, Bob, you went through and randomly assigned people. So that seemed like a really good method. I wonder if we
I
go
can
ahead
definitely
and-
do that again.
Okay, unless somebody is opposed.
The other thing is if there's any on here that people would prefer to, take on to, like, we can do that sort of first round.
Okay. I'll take Cozy Stack just because that's coming back and I remember having comments on it from last time. So I'll go ahead and jump on that one. And Katie, do you want to do that one too?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, awesome. Let's see.
The other thing I'll say, like this one here, the deploy sh, this is just a series, like some bash scripts, and probably could be, removed from the review ahead of time. But I should
Okay,
not be the one to make that call.
that's good to know. Len, do you want to triage that one?
Sure. I just can't be assigned to K Gateway, just so you guys know. That's a project from our company.
Okay, thank you.
Would
And
anyone else like to hop on that one?
can you put Emily?
Cool.
Thank you. All right, let's start at the top again. Joy Live agent. How about Ricardo and Dems?
Yoke.
How about Dave and Kevin?
Okay,
Okay.
and then this one Lynn cannot be on.
How about, let me see who's here again. Kevin, I just said you. How about Katie? And Dems.
Dims, I think, also chimed on this one because of the naming stuff, so that's a good one. Then Duffy,
Duffy. That sounds good.
and then would anyone
Trying,
else like to be on this one too?
trying to see who we might be inadvertently leaving out. Ricardo, did we already? And then after this,
Okay.
Bob will go through and see if.
Yeah, if things are massively like oversigned, so I'll sort it out.
I can take it, no problem.
Actually, Ricardo, I would say there's another one because there's K-Serve, which would probably be a better one for you.
Where is it?
Would
I
you
don't
prefer
see it
this
there.
one or no? K-Serve is over in the incubation.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. I'm sorry.
I
Yeah.
don't
My
think
bad.
it's there. Yeah.
Yep. I was mixing it up. I was saying K-Sale
Okay.
is the one that I was like, I saw the name and must have thought K-Serve.
K-Sale. How about Dave?
Actually, Kevin? Or
Yeah.
Okay. Last one, Kepamethius.
I'll jump on it.
Okay. Let's see. Emily.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Cool. Yep. Part of the reason, if we can get through these, like if we do an one in February, March is the month leading up to KubeCon, which is when this would normally be slated, and that would make timelines and things like that a little bit of a challenge. Plus, the new body would be seated March 4th, which would again kind of play in things a little bit. So that's us saying, like, if we could potentially knock this out in February, that would also give them time to prep for KubeCon if they're going to do anything there. Like, I'm not suggesting the beginning of February, but like if we give it like potentially end maybe.
And it'd be nice to have more of a break in the lead up to KubeCon as well.
Yeah.
Maybe I saw a few comments in the chat about helping out. So I guess these issues are open for everyone to jump in and comment as well, especially if you work on a tag that is related.
Yeah, we honestly need to go through, actually, as part of triage, I'd say go in there and assign the tags that are most associated with those, and then can work on there and getting the tags involved. And anyone else that has comments, I'm sorry, I'm missed some of the chat, but like other people that are not directly involved in the tags can also comment.
And I posted in the chat, but I know, Matt, you've been involved in the past with the domain technical reviews for the same sandbox project. So having another one like that for these would be wonderful.
Yeah, like
Thanks, Bob.
this one, Prometheus in natural language processing for Prometheus, that uses PromQL might be a good one to, Matt, if you're looking for one too.
Sure, happy to help.
Actually, I will just go ahead and put observability on that.
And I haven't looked at this one yet, but also is this a good candidate for reaching out to Prometheus and being a sub-project under Prometheus, or right?
I
haven't looked at it.
Yeah.
I know. I just prompting people that are thinking about adding more projects to CNCF that, you know, sometimes it's good to consolidate resources and you get a bigger, more robust community too.
Yep.
Yeah, I think particularly for observability, there's a lot popping up in open source land outside of the CNCF. And a failure mode would be just a plethora of tiny projects with single or handful of contributors per project. That kind of fragmentation is what we had before we started 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we can, I know triage gets a little exhausting after a while. We can go back to the TOC workboard, or with 20 minutes, we can defer and give you time to actually work on the items that we just assigned to you all. So
That sounds good.
so that gives us, you know, 20 minutes to go back and dive in at least and do some of the actual triage. Yeah. +1 from Lynn, Ricardo, Katie, others. Okay. Sounds good then. Thank you, everyone. All right.
Thanks,
Thanks all.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Happy
Thank
Tuesday.
you.
Bye.
Bye.